Welcome back to Painting with a Purpose. Today we are going to be doing a kid class with a frog. The colors you're going to need are white, yellow, green, blue, pink, and purple. And if you look, I've got one spot of white that's big and one spot of white that's yellow. That way at the end I've got a clean yellow. You're going to need 3 brushes, a flat brush, and 2 round brushes, a medium one and a small one. You also want to have your handy dandy water and your best friend, your paint rag. So let's get started. For this frog, I'm going to start by having half of my paintbrush in blue and half of my paintbrush in white. And when I grab my white, I want to pull it from the edge of the white so I don't get blue in the middle. So I've got blue and white on my brush, and I'm going to make an arch on my canvas, just an arch, simple little arch. Now underneath that arch, I'm going to paint the entire canvas with this blue and white. So I'm going to use blue and white, and I'm going to paint every single thing under this canvas blue and white, or underneath that arch blue and white. So grab some blue, grab some white, everything underneath here blue and white. Doesn't matter which way your lines go at this point, because we're going to add some cool water waves in a minute. All right. After I have my canvas painted with blue and white, remember, if you don't have a canvas at home, that is not a big deal. All you have to do is use a cereal box, a piece of cardboard. You can paint on rocks. You can paint on paper, anything you want. Don't forget to paint those edges of your canvas so that when you're finished, you can hang it up. After you have the whole area blue and white, you are going to take your paintbrush and you're going to dip it in a little bit of green. And remember, I said a little bit. Don't go crazy. Look how that is almost no green, just a little bit of green. And I'm going to make wavy lines that follow my arch. Just a little bit of green. Wavy lines that follow my arch. Just a little bit of green. Wavy lines that follow my arch. So I'm making these wavy lines and I'm blending that blue and that green so that I have some really cool water lines all the way across my water. So now my water's finished and I'm going to take a break and move on to the sky. My sky, I'm going to keep my paintbrush a little bit wet with just blue paint. So just a little bit of blue paint on there, but a lot of white. This is an ice cream scoop of white. And I'm going to paint everything up here with this ice cream scoop of white. Remember, my paintbrush already had a little bit of blue on it, just a little bit of blue. You can add a little bit if you need some, but then a lot of white. Lots of white. And when you are painting this in, you are going to paint the whole top and then you're going to smooth it out sideways. So I'm going to paint the whole top and then I'm going to make horizontal lines, left to right, left to right, left to right. Left to right, left to right, left to right. Fill that whole area in. Don't forget about those edges. Those edges are going to need to be filled in. So what you should have is a nice light blue color on the sky. Don't forget about those edges. Now that your sky's finished, watch how you finish it out. A little bit of white paint, and I'm going to go horizontal lines all the way down. And what that's going to do is it's going to smooth out those bumpy areas that I have and those areas that have a lot of blue in them, and it's going to make it nice and neat. Now here's the trick. When you get to the water, don't worry about it. We're going to add grass. You're not going to see it. Just go all the way down to the water, smoothing it out. And you're ready for the next step. Well done, friends. The next step is our grass. So the grass, I'm going to wipe my flat brush off really good. And I'm going to use green mixed with yellow. So if you look, it's half green and half yellow. I'm going to draw big letter M's. Big letter M's. Over and over and over. And if my paint's too wet, I can push pause on the video and I can come back to it. But big letter M's. And underneath those letter M's, I'm gonna still with that green and blue, I'm gonna paint everything underneath those letter M's with green and blue. All the way across. And if you see, I'm just going down right to my water line. And as I keep going with these lines going up and down, it's gonna start to look like grass. Now at some point, I'm gonna have to switch from this brush over to a round brush. And with that round brush, I'm still gonna take yellow and green together, but this time I'm gonna make individual strands. And I'm gonna stick with my letter M's, individual strands of grass. All the way across. Oh yeah, I like where that's going. And now it's time to take a break and let this dry. You're gonna want about 5 minutes to let this dry. You can use a hairdryer to speed up the process, or you can use a fancy dancy paper plate. You can just fan it and that will help you dry it off. But in about 5 minutes, we're gonna come back and then I'll talk to you guys about how we're gonna add in our frog. See you in a minute.